So, strategic communication and business communication through literature. Insights from James Joyce's Ulysses. Distinguished scholars, PhD candidates, and MSc students, esteemed colleagues in the pursuit of intellectual rigor. Good afternoon. Today, I invite you to consider a proposition that bridges two seemingly disparate realms: the labyrinthine depths of modernist literature and the pragmatic, high stakes arena of strategic and business communication. At its core, strategic communication is not merely the the transmission of information. It is the deliberate orchestration of meaning, perception, and influence across complex, often ambiguous environments. Business communication, its applied sibling, demands clarity amidst chaos, persuasion without coercion, and adaptability in the face of human unpredictability. Literature, particularly James Joyce's Ulysses 1922, serves as an unparalleled laboratory for those skills. This epic of the ordinary, compressed into a single day, June 16, 1904, in Dublin, employs revolutionary techniques like stream of consciousness, shifting perspectives, linguistic play, and mythic parallelism. It does not simplify human experience, it renders it in its full, fragmented glory. For advanced learners like yourselves, engaging with Ulysses hones not just interpretive acuity but transferable competencies, decoding stakeholders' mindsets, crafting resonant narratives, navigating ambiguity, and building empathy in leadership and negotiation. In 10 minutes, we shall explore this intersection with clarity and precision, drawing concrete instances from the text. Let us begin with fundamentals. Strategic communication requires understanding internal and external reality simultaneously, the thoughts, biases, and associations that shape reception. Joyce's hallmark stream of consciousness technique mirrors this precisely. Unlike linear narration, it captures the mind's associative flow, incomplete sentences, sensory intrusions, memory leaps, and unspoken calculations. Consider Leopold Bloom, the novels Everyman Odysseus, and an advertising canvasser by profession. In episodes like Lotus Eater or Aeolus, the newspaper office, Bloom's interior monologue reveals a master class in audience analysis and message adaptation. Bloom thinks while moving through Dublin's commercial and social currents, calculating what others perceive of him, weighing word choices for maximum effect with minimal risk, and layering meanings. One moment he ponders an advertisement's visual and verbal impact, the next he navigates personal grief and marital tension through mental reframing. This is strategic internal communication par excellence, the disciplined self talk that executives and leaders use to maintain composure and clarity under pressure. In business terms, it parallels preparing for a high stake board meeting, anticipating objections, managing cognitive dissonance, and aligning personal narrative with organizational goals. Joyce shows us that effective communicators do not suppress mental chaos, they harness and edit it. Externally, Ulysses illuminates multivocality and perspective taking. The novel shifts styles per episode, newspaper headlines in Aeolus, catechistic questions in Ithaca, operatic excess elsewhere, mirroring how organizations deploy different rhetorical registers: formal reports, persuasive pitches, crisis statement, or visionary storytelling. Stephen Dedalus, the intellectual Telemachus, grapples with history, paternity, and artistic identity through dense, elusive thought. His interactions reveal the power and peril of ambiguity and intertextuality. In business, this translates to tailoring communication to diverse stakeholders. Investors crave data and certainty. Creatives and teams respond to vision and resonance. Regulators demand precision. Misjudge the register, and like Stephen's alienated monologues, your message falls on deaf ears. A particularly lucid lesson emerges in themes of empathy, ordinary heroism, and persuasion through vulnerability. Bloom is no conquering hero, but an empathetic observer who notices the marginalized, a blind man, a grieving widow, even animals. His compassion fuels quiet influence. In the Cyclops episode, amid nationalist bombard and aggression, Bloom counters with human reason, enduring ridicule yet planting seeds of doubt. This is strategic communication at its most sophisticated, not dominating the discourse but humanizing it, building long term relational capital. In modern business, think crisis management, DEI initiatives, or cross cultural negotiations, empathy driven narratives outperform pure logic. Leaders who, like Bloom, demonstrate extraordinary capacity for sympathy amid ordinariness, earn trust and loyalty. Language itself becomes strategic tool in Joyce's hands. Puns, neologisms, fragmented syntax, and cultural allusions in Ulysses demonstrate semantic layering and rhetorical density. Molly Bloom's final Penelope episode, a monumental punctuation, light soliloquy, flows as raw cyclical thought, desire, memory, affirmation. Yes, it reveals how unfiltered interiority can achieve profound persuasive power when channeled. For business communicators, this underscores authenticity's value. Polished corporates speak often fails where vulnerable, context rich storytelling succeeds in brand narratives, change management, and executive presence. Yet Joyce warns of excess. Without structure, even genius develops into noise. The strategic communicator balances fluidity with intentional framing. Practically, how do we apply this at IIT level rigor? First, cultivate Joycean reading of situations. Map stakeholder interior monologues through active listening and scenario planning. Second, master narrative architecture. Structure your communications with mythic or archetypal depth, problem journey resolution, while grounding them in everyday truths. Third, embrace ambiguity as opportunity. In uncertain markets, layered messaging allows flexibility without deceit. Fourth, practice linguistic precision and play. Test metaphors, test associations, refine the resonance. In conclusion, Ulysses is not an escapist tome but a rigorous training ground for elite communicators. It teaches that beneath surface transactions lie profound human currents, perceptions, identities, desires that strategic literature trained minds can navigate with lucidity and influence. As future scholars, consultants, or leaders carry this. The ordinary day holds epic potential when observed and articulated with Joyce's depth. True mastery lies not in simplifying complexity, but in communicating it so others see it clearly, act upon it wisely, and feel profoundly understood. Thank you. I look forward to your reflections and questions.